Hello, I am Grant Hart with B4C, and today, right now, this very instant, we are interviewing Tony Fleecs.
Fleece.
Fleece. Where exactly does that name originate? Do you know?
It's Polish.
Polish.
Yeah. There's two different schools of thought. It may also be Fliss, and it may have originally been Fleeski and shortened.
What happened to the ski? Was it like...
I don't know. What happens to any of these things? Years go by. It's not like it was in my lifetime that it had been Fleeski. We're talking about hundreds of years.
And speaking of right now in the present, how's your con going?
It's great. I'm having a great time. I love BABSCon. I live in LA, so it was a very short trip. That's nice. And I got up here yesterday. I slept. I had some sushi at a place called I Love Sushi. You guys went there? And then now I'm just having a convention. We had a panel today, and then I've been sitting around drawing ponies for people. And tonight I'm going to stay up until the wee hours drawing more ponies. We're going to get some San Francisco pizza, I think.
Nice. That's always a classic, yeah.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about what exactly you do for the comics. What's your specialty?
Well, originally I was brought on to draw covers in 2012 when they first started doing the book. And then very soon after that, I started drawing the interiors too. So I started out drawing, like on the first issue, I did covers. And I did covers probably for the first, 12? I don't know. There were so many variant covers and different covers at the beginning of the comic that I've at least had one cover on like the first good chunk of them. And then I still do a pretty regular cover work for them. But then when they started the micro series, I drew the Rainbow Dash and Fluttershy micro series, and then I did the Equestria Girls comics, and I did a bunch of the Fiendship is Magic comics about the villains, and then I've drawn a ton of Friends Forever and some of the Friendship is Magic comics, and including the ones that are coming out right now. 51 through 53 is an arc that I drew that features a new villain called Shadowlock, who introduces a villain who's like a big deal in season 7 of the cartoon.
Ooh. So we'll be seeing a little bit of crossover from the comics into the upcoming seasons.
Yeah, you'll get a sort of a sneak peek in the next issue. Shadowlock's this character who's sort of mysterious. People on the internet say that he's just looks like a goth OC, he's just like it's like a gray pony with a scar, and he has like hair that hangs down over his eye. To me, he looks like a My Chemical Romance pony. Love it.
Is he a Pegasus or a unicorn, or is he an alicorn, or what?
He's a unicorn.
Okay.
And he's got a cloak. So,
love it.
So yeah, he's been running around, what he's been doing sort of gets revealed in the next issue, and it has to do with this character who's actually a villain in season 7. So it's sort of, you'll get, if you read the comics and then you watch the cartoon, you'll be like, oh, cool.
Awesome.
That's sort of what we're doing right now in the books. But up until issue 50, we'd sort of been not on our own. Like Hasbro looked over everything and like approved and said this doesn't work because of continuity or whatever. But 51 moving forward, we're sort of tied in a lot more tightly with the actual show continuity. For whatever that's worth. We call it like party canon, like it's not canon. It's like canon.
That's a really interesting way to put it. I like that.
Yeah.
Is there anything more you can tell us about this new villain, or is it strictly under wraps?
I mean, no, I don't. I mean, all you're gonna know is you'll see him. Like I don't even think they say his name necessarily. So it's like a real tease, but it's sort of like sets him up in a cool way where you're like, oh, when he shows up in the cartoon, you're gonna be like, oh crap, like trouble.
Nice, I dig it. And kind of deviating away from My Little Pony, what other comic work have you been involved in throughout this process? Like, what are your other main projects at the moment?
Well, I just finished a mini-series called Jeff Steinberg, Champion of Earth at Oni Press. That's like a sci-fi comedy, sort of like a sci-fi slacker comedy, like if a Judd Apatow movie also had aliens in it. And that was 6 issues, and I co-wrote that and drew it.
Cool.
And so that just came out. The trade is coming out in, I think, August. And then I've been doing a lot of cover work I did some covers for like Batman Ninja Turtles, and I did a couple Marvel covers for the new Wasp comic and for Jessica Jones, and all kinds of stuff. I'm doing covers for Grumpy Cat Garfield crossover.
Ooh.
Which is just a bizarre.
Sounds very, very meme-worthy, if you ask me.
Yeah, for sure. I do all the Grumpy Cat dialogue in Impact with a big fat black outline on it whenever I draw Grumpy Cat. That's a little font talk for the font people out there.
Yeah, the fun stuff. Kind of segueing through that, what's your opinion on Garfield, if you've ever seen it? Garfield, the very meta version of Garfield. You ever heard of it at all?
No, tell me more.
It's a series on YouTube where people will like poorly draw Garfield and John, and then like try and recreate the tropes, like, you know, Garfield eats a lasagna and John gets angry, and they put like text to speech over it and just really distorted audio. It's like post-modernism.
Wow, yeah, it sounds dark.
It is. Oh, just take a look. Take
I'm
a look.
interested in that. Does everybody show up? Does Nermal get in there?
Oh yeah, everybody gets in there. It's an experience. It's an experience of, again, postmodernism, making fun of the fact that people are making fun of the fact that there is nothing original
Sure.
in the art world.
Your producer wants you to move off of Garfield.
All right. Well, we'll ask our very, very last question.
Well, let me tell you about Garfield real quick. Drawing him is super difficult because the way that they draw Garfield is so specific, you know, like the Jim Davis or the Jim Davis studio style. If you're like a millimeter off, it looks like wrong and amateurish. With ponies, they let us do our own style, which is cool, but with Garfield, it's got to look just like Garfield.
Yeah.
So it's been a challenge to get to like draw the exact correct Garfield.
That's interesting.
I should have just done a project with this Garfield thing where apparently you can just draw whatever you want.
Well, that would have been easier, yeah. And our final question, I know we wanted to ask this, but boxers or briefs?
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, boxers, I guess. Yeah, sometimes I'll wear like a boxer brief, but that's a little too snug for me.
That's
fair. I like a little bit of
bit of
room to breathe.
I like that, yeah.
Sure.
Cool.
Well, now you know. Now you know, every pony.
A little room to breathe, guys. We're going to end it right there. Thank you guys so much again for watching the interview with Tony Fleecs. I have been Grant Hart. This has been Tony Fleecs.
Hello.
Signing out, everybody.
Goodbye.
Every pony. Nice.
If you see a geek on the street with a handgun, probably me, in denial that I am one. Low pay wage, short days, no Samsung, growing out my goatee, definitely am.